Hey guys, so this week on Nostalgic Friday, we are going to talk about probably the most disturbing episodes of kids shows that we probably saw and we're probably scared for life. Really, for reals. Now, for this, I've only picked 3 episodes that some of them, 2 of them I remember. One I haven't actually seen, but have seen multiple reviews on and people mentioning how dark and creepy it is. So, yes, let's get on with it. Okay, first up is the SpongeBob Squarepants episode titled Nasty Patty, which I'm sure we all remember this one. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't actually realize how dark it was until I guess years later. Oh, wow. So in this episode, of course, the health inspector comes, to the Krusty Krab, tries every meal, and of course, SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs think he's a fake, so they come up with a bad, nasty patty, and he doesn't actually eat it, but he accidentally, swallows a fly, and, he chokes on it and passes out, and of course, they think he's dead. And so basically, shenanigans ensue. SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs go to I think a graveyard at night, and they bury his body again, thinking he's dead. So yeah, they actually buried someone alive on a kids show. I mean, wow. So yeah, for reals. And then the cops show up. Because they want some stuff at the Krusty Krab. And, SpongeBob has to hide the body from them. But then they confess to the crime. Next thing you know, the health inspector gets out. They think he's a zombie, almost gets beaten up. But then the end turns out he's not a zombie. And it turns out, apparently the Krusty Krab had passed. So yeah, that's the episode for ya. I mean, wow. And again, this episode, all the dark elements in this episode probably went over my head when seeing this. For reals, I tell ya. For reals. Okay, next up is, a show I actually was binge watching not too long ago. I'm sure we all remember the Powerpuff Girls, right? The classic series. Not the 2016 reboot, though. We don't talk about that. So yeah. The show had some great moments and taught great lessons. But, sometimes I guess the show did take some dark turns. Then again, one of their enemies would have literally been the devil himself. But I guess due to it being a kid show, they of course couldn't call him the devil. But instead, they had to call him, which yes, that's what we all went with. But we all knew who he was, I guess. Some of us did. But now I'm sure there are a lot of episodes featuring him that were disturbing, and pretty much this guy was pretty much, in our nightmares after watching an episode. But one episode in particular that's probably the darkest one of all was Speed Demon, in which the Powerpuff Girls, race home so they could go on their vacation for the weekend, but end up 50 years into the future, where him has apparently taken over the world. Oh god, and I tell you, there's a lot of messed up things. It's not even said, but apparently the mayor has died, because we get a scene where Miss Bellum is all crying, oh man, I loved him, oh snap. I binge watched this show on Hulu not too long ago, and let me tell ya, I was so wow. This is so dark. Although I don't know, maybe it would have scared me or not. I'm not sure. Then again, there were a few moments that scared me from TV when I was younger, SpongeBob turning into a snail in the episode I Was a Teenage Gary. Oh god, I did not like that one bit. But really, wow, so dark and creepy. Then again, yeah, the show has had scarier moments and darker moments, but what the heck. And last but certainly not least is probably one of the most darkest kids show episodes to ever come on TV. And let me tell you, I've heard about it so many times. Then again, I never actually saw the show as a kid because, well, I was too young when it came out. I'm sure you all know Invaders, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, that show had some dark stuff too, but one episode in particular I want to talk about is the episode Dark Harvest, in which Zim, takes the organs of some of the kids in school and, stuffs himself with them. Ugh, Jesus. And, literally, there's literally a scene where he, vomits, one of them out, and he just slurps it back in, Jesus. Seriously, so much happens in this episode, wow. I mean, really, he throughout the episode, he steals organs. And I tell you, even the scene where him and Dib, with him and Dib is pretty disturbing. I mean, even Dib finally gets caught in the end. Wow. I mean, I tell you, disturbing for sure. So anyways, that's all I got for today. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.